Chapter 24. It was now the 8th day since I had had my accident. I had listened to the story of the sailor as I was drinking the last drop of my water. "Ah, your stories are very interesting," I said to the little prince. "But my plane is still not working. Also, I have no more water to drink. I would be happy if I could walk toward a spring of fresh water." "My friend the fox," the little prince said to me, "my dear little man, this is not the time to talk about the fox." "Why not?" "Because I am about to die of thirst." And he answered me, "Even if we are about to die, it is good to have a friend." "He doesn't understand how dangerous our situation is," I said to myself. "He has never been thirsty." But he looked at me slowly and answered my thoughts. "I am thirsty too. Let us look for a well." It is strange to look for a well in the desert, but we started walking. When we had walked for some hours, the darkness fell, and the stars began to come out. Thirst had made me a little hot. Then I suddenly remembered his last words. "So you are thirsty too?" I asked. But he did not reply to my question. He only said to me, "Water may also be good for that heart." I did not understand this answer, but I said nothing. He was tired. He sat down and he spoke again. "The stars are beautiful because of a flower that cannot be seen." I replied, "Yes, that's right." And I looked across the hills of sand without saying anything. "The desert is beautiful," the little prince said, and that was true. I have always loved the desert. "What makes the desert beautiful?" said the little prince. "A hidden well is making the desert beautiful." I was surprised by a sudden understanding of the desert. The desert is beautiful because there is water one cannot see. When I was a little boy, I lived in an old house, and there had been a story of hidden treasure under the house. The story cast magic on that house. "Yes," I said to the little prince, "the house, the stars, the desert, their beauty is something that can't be seen." "I am glad," he said, "that you agree with my fox." As the little prince fell asleep, I took him in my arms and began to walk once more. It seemed to me that I was carrying a treasure that would easily break. I looked at his forehead, his closed eyes, his hair in the moonlight, and I said to myself, "What I see here is nothing but a shell. The most important thing can't be seen." The little prince smiled. I said to myself, "What touches my heart about this little prince who is sleeping is his loyal heart for his flower." I felt that he was weak. I needed to protect him. He looked like he would go out like fire, and we found water in the morning. Chapter 25. "Men go by express trains," said the little prince, "but they don't know what they are looking for. So they are busy, but they're still in the same place." And he added, "It is more trouble than it's worth." The well we found was different from the wells in the desert. This well was like a well in a village, but there was no village here, and I thought I must be dreaming. "It is strange," I said to the little prince. "Everything is ready for use." He laughed. touched the rope, and pulled the rope. Then there was a sound of an old wheel, like an old windmill, which hadn't moved for a long time. "Do you hear?" said the little prince. "We have wakened the well, and it is singing." I did not want him to tire himself. "Leave this rope to me," I said. "It is too heavy for you." I pulled the bucket slowly to the edge of the well. The song of the well was still in my ears, and I could see the sunlight in the moving water. "I am thirsty for this water," said the little prince. "Give me some of it to drink." And I understood what he had been looking for. He drank the water, and his eyes closed. It was as sweet as some festival food. This water was certainly different from other water. This water was born of the walk under the stars, the song of the well. It was good for the heart like a gift. When I was a little boy, the lights of the Christmas tree, the Christmas song, the smiling faces made the gifts of Christmas special. The men raise 5,000 roses in the garden, but they do not find in it what they are looking for. It could be found in one single rose or in a little water, said the little prince. "Yes, that is true," I said. And the little prince added, "But the eyes are useless. You must look with the heart." I had drunk the water. At sunrise, the sand is the color of honey, and that honey color was making me happy too. Then what brought me this sense of deep sadness? "You must keep your promise," said the little prince as he sat down beside me. "What promise?" "You know, a mask for my sheep. I am responsible for this flower." I took my drawings out of my pocket. The little prince looked them over and laughed as he said, "Your baobabs, they look like a little cabbages. And your fox, his ears are too pointy, and they are too long." And he laughed again. "You are not fair, little prince," I said. "I do not know how to draw anything except boa snakes." "Oh, that will be all right," he said. "Children understand." So then, I made a pencil sketch of a mask, and when I gave it to him, I felt sad. "You have plans that I do not know about," I said. But he did not answer me. He said to me instead, "You know, tomorrow will be 1 year since I came to Earth." Then after a moment he went on, "I came down very near here," and his face turned red. And I don't know why I had a strange sense of sadness, but one question came to my mind. "So, when you first met me, were you on your way back to where you came from?" The little prince's face turned red again. And I added, "Perhaps it was because of the anniversary?" The little prince's face turned red once more. He never answered questions, but I knew the red face meant yes. "Ah," I said to him, "I'm a little scared." But he stopped me. "Now you must work. You must return to your plane. I'll be waiting for you here. Come back tomorrow evening." But I was not comfortable. Chapter 26. Beside the well, there was an old stone wall. When I came back from my work, I saw my little prince sitting on top of a wall from some distance away. And I heard him say, "This is not the exact place." Another voice must have answered him, for he replied to it, "Yes, yes, it is the right day, but this is not the place." I continued my walk to the wall. The little prince replied once again, "Exactly. You will see my footprint in the sand. You have nothing to do but wait for me there. I shall be there tonight." But I still saw nothing. After a moment, the little prince said again, "You have good poison? You are sure that it will not make my pain too long?" I stopped. My heart was broken, but I still did not understand. "Now go away," said the little prince. "I want to get down from the wall." I dropped my eyes to the foot of the wall. There was a yellow snake that takes just 30 seconds to bring your life to an end. And that snake was facing the little prince before me. I made a step back, and I was pulling my gun out of my pocket. But I made some noise, so the yellow snake disappeared in no hurry among the stones. I reached the wall and caught my little prince in my arms. His face was white as snow. "Why are you talking with snakes?" I had untied the golden scarf and had given him some water to drink. And now I did not ask him any more questions. He looked at me very seriously and put his arms around my neck. I felt his heart beating weakly. "I'm glad that you have fixed your plane," he said. "Now you can go back home." "How do you know that?" I was just coming to tell him that my work had been successful. He made no answer to my question, but he said, "I am also going back home today." Then sadly, it is very far away. It is much more difficult. I knew that something was happening. I was holding him close in my arms, but it seemed to me that he was falling into a deep place and I couldn't catch him. His look was very serious, like someone lost far away. "I have your sheep, and I have the sheep's box, and I have the mask." I waited for a long time. I could see that he was getting better little by little. "Dear little man," I said to him, "you are afraid." He was afraid, but he laughed lightly. "I shall be much more afraid this evening." Once again, I felt frozen, and I knew that I could not hear that laughter anymore. "Little man," I said, "I want to hear you laugh again." But he said to me, "Tonight, it will be a year. My star can be found right above the place where I dropped off." "Little man," I said, "tell me that it is only a bad dream." But he did not answer me. He said to me instead, "Important things cannot be seen. Yes, I know. It is just like a flower. If you love a flower that lives on a star, it is sweet to look at the sky at night. Yes, I know. It is just like water. Because of the well and the rope, what you gave me to drink was like music. You remember how good it was? Yes, I know. And at night you will look up at the stars. Everything of my star is so small that you can't find my star. But my star will just be one of the stars for you. And so you will love to watch all the stars in the heavens." He laughed again. "Ah, little prince, I love to hear that laughter. That is my present. It was like when we drank the water." "What are you trying to say?" "All men have the stars," he answered, "but they are not the same for different people. For travelers, the stars are guides. For others, stars are just little lights in the sky. For scientists, stars are problems. For my businessmen, Stars are money. You will have the stars in a special way. What are you trying to say? In one of the stars, I shall be living. In one of them, I shall be laughing. When you look at the sky at night, all the stars will be laughing. You will have stars that can laugh. And he laughed again. You will always be my friend. You will want to laugh with me, and you will sometimes open your window for that joy. And your friends will be surprised to see you laughing at the sky. Then you will say to them, "Yes, the stars always make me laugh." And they will think you are crazy. And he laughed again. I had given you a great number of little bells that knew how to laugh. And he laughed again. Then he quickly became serious. Tonight, do not come. I shall not leave you, I said. I shall look painful. I shall look a little dying. Do not come to see that. It is more trouble than it's worth. I shall not leave you. But he was worried. The snake must not bite you. Snakes are unkind creatures. This one might bite you just for fun. I shall not leave you. But a thought came to comfort him. It is true that they have no more poison for a second bite. That night, I did not see him go on his way. He got away from me without any noise. When I succeeded in catching up, he was walking along with a steady step. He said to me simply, "Ah, you are there," and he took me by the hand. "It was wrong of you to come. You will be hurt. I shall look as if I were dead, but that will be not true." I said nothing. It is too far. I cannot carry this body. It is too heavy. I said nothing. But it will be like an old empty shell. There is nothing sad about old shells. I said nothing. He said once more, "It'll be very nice when I shall look at the stars. They will be wells with a sound." I said nothing. "That'll be so interesting. You will have 500 million little bells, and I shall have 500 million springs of fresh water." And he too said nothing more, because he was crying. "Here it is." And he sat down because he was afraid. Then he said, "My flower, I'm responsible for her. And she is so weak. She is so simple. She has 4 thorns to protect herself against all the world." I also sat down because I couldn't stand up any longer. That is all. He paused a little, then he got up. He took one step. He could not move. There was nothing but a flash of yellow close to his foot. He did not cry out. He fell as gently as a tree falls. There was not even any sound because of the sand. Chapter 27. It was 6 years ago. I have never yet told this story. My friends were glad to see me alive. I was sad, but I told them, "I am tired." Now my sadness is comforted a little. I know that he did go back to his planet because I did not find his body. And at night, I love to listen to the stars. It is like 500 million little bells. But there is one strange thing. When I drew the mask for the little prince, I forgot to draw the line for the sheep. He will never have been able to put the mask on the sheep. What is happening on his planet? Perhaps the sheep has eaten the flower? I say to myself, surely not. The little prince shuts his flower under her glass cup every night. Then the little bells laughed. But at another time I say to myself, what if he forgot the glass cup or the sheep got out without any noise in the night, and then the little bells are changed to tears. Here is a great mystery for you and for me who love the little prince. The whole universe depends on whether the sheep ate the flower or not. Look up at the sky. Ask yourselves, is it yes or no? Has the sheep eaten the flower? And you will see how everything changes. And grown-ups will never understand that this is a matter of so much importance. This is the loveliest and saddest landscape in the world. I have drawn it again for you to remember. It is here that the little prince appeared on earth and disappeared. Be sure to look at it carefully, in case you travel someday to the African desert. Then, if a little man appears who has golden hair, you'll know who he is. If this should happen, please let me know that he has come back.